Hello and welcome. Today, we are discussing a major development in the world of technology. In the United States, there is a growing disagreement between the states and the federal government over how to regulate artificial intelligence.
That is correct, Alex. On January 1st, several important state laws went into effect. For example, California and Texas now have new rules that require AI companies to follow specific safety frameworks. These states want to ensure that AI is used responsibly.
However, the federal government has a different plan. Under President Trump, the administration is focusing on an innovation-first strategy. They believe that too many different rules will slow down technological progress.
To support this, the president issued an executive order last month. It aims to reduce the costs of following regulations for new tech companies. The administration wants one national policy, rather than what they call a patchwork of different state laws.
It has even gone a step further. This January, the Department of Justice created a special AI litigation task force. Their goal is to challenge state laws in court. They argue that having different rules in every state makes it too difficult for American companies to compete.
It is a complex situation. On one side, states like California are focused on transparency and safety. On the other side, the federal government wants to remove barriers to help the AI industry grow as fast as possible.
This clash will likely shape the future of technology in the U.S. for years to come. We will continue to watch how the courts handle these challenges.
Thank you for joining us for this update. We will see you next time.
Good morning. Today we have important news regarding international cooperation in the digital age. The United Kingdom and Japan have officially launched a new strategic cyber partnership.
That is correct, Alex. This initiative was announced following a meeting between the UK Prime Minister and the Japanese Prime Minister, Sanae Takaichi. The goal is to make both nations more resilient against digital threats.
It sounds like a significant step. Could you explain what this partnership actually focuses on?
Certainly. The two leaders want to deepen their collaboration in industry and technology. They are looking at frontier tech challenges. This means they will work together on very advanced fields, including new opportunities in space.
So it is about more than just fixing computer bugs. It is about protecting the entire economy and critical infrastructure.
Exactly. In our modern world, everything is connected. By working together, the UK and Japan can better defend their power grids, communication systems, and financial networks. They want to ensure that their digital systems remain safe and stable.
This move is also interesting given the current global climate. With President Trump leading the United States, we are seeing many traditional allies take direct steps to strengthen their own bilateral security ties.
Indeed. This partnership signals a very organized and steady approach to cyber defense. It shows that both nations are serious about protecting their information and their citizens in an increasingly complex digital landscape.
It is a clear sign of trust between London and Tokyo. Thank you for that clear analysis, Jamie.
You are very welcome.
And thank you all for listening. We will continue to monitor how this technological partnership develops. Hello. Today, we are discussing a significant development in Washington, D.C. A partial government shutdown has officially begun in the United States.
That is correct, Alex. The shutdown started after Congress failed to pass several funding bills before the midnight deadline. This means that many government offices do not have the money they need to operate.
It is a complicated situation. On Friday night, the Senate actually approved a bipartisan funding plan. However, the House of Representatives is not scheduled to meet again until Monday. Because of this delay, the funding for many departments has stopped.
This will have an immediate impact on many citizens. For example, the IRS will close some offices just as tax season begins. Additionally, programs that provide housing assistance to families are now at risk.
We also see a pause in scientific research funded by the government. Many federal projects are now on hold. But Jamie, what happens to the people who provide essential services?
That is an important point. Essential personnel, such as members of the military and airport security agents, must continue to work. However, they will not receive their paychecks until the shutdown ends and the government reopens.
This situation creates a lot of uncertainty. there are growing concerns about the long-term impact on the U.S. economy and the daily lives of many people.
It certainly does. Everyone is now waiting to see how President Trump and the leaders in Congress will reach an agreement to restore these services.
We will continue to monitor the situation as it develops. Thank you for joining us for this update.
Thank you, Alex. Goodbye for now.
Good morning. Today, we are looking at the latest global economic report from the International Monetary Fund, also known as the IMF.
Hello, Alex. That is right. The IMF just released its outlook for 2026. The main message is one of stability. They expect the world economy to grow by 3.3% this year.
That is a slight increase from previous estimates. It seems the global economy is staying strong, even with many changes happening at once. Jamie, what is driving this growth?
A major factor is technology. Companies are investing heavily in artificial intelligence. This surge in tech, combined with the ability of private businesses to adapt, is helping the economy move forward.
However, the report also mentioned some challenges, specifically regarding trade.
Yes, we are seeing shifting trade policies. Under President Trump, the U.S. has introduced new strategies that change how goods move between countries. While these shifts create some pressure, the overall global growth remains resilient.
Let's talk about inflation. Many people are concerned about the cost of living. What does the IMF say about that?
There is good news. Inflation is expected to fall globally. However, it will not happen at the same speed everywhere. In the United States, inflation is projected to return to its target more slowly than in other major economies.
So the outlook is generally positive, but are there any risks we should watch for?
Yes, the IMF is cautious. They warn that if the excitement over technology slows down, or if tensions between countries grow, it could disrupt financial markets and supply chains.
Thank you, Jamie. It is a balanced picture. Growth is steady, but we must stay alert to future changes. Thank you for joining us for this update.
You are very welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us for today's top story.
Hello, Alex. Today we are discussing a major change in international policy. The United States has officially withdrawn from the Paris Agreement this week.
This is a significant move. For our listeners who might need a reminder, could you explain the purpose of the Paris Agreement?
Certainly. It is a landmark international treaty. Its main goal is to reduce global warming and help countries prepare for the impacts of climate change. Almost every country in the world signed it to protect the environment together.
So why has the U.S. decided to leave?
This decision follows a year of policy changes under the Trump administration. President Trump is prioritizing domestic economic considerations. The administration believes that the treaty's rules could be a burden to the U.S. economy and its businesses.
And what has been the international response to this news?
There is a lot of concern globally. International observers worry that without the participation of the U.S., the treaty will be less effective. They fear this could lead to more environmental damage and long-term risks to human health.
It seems there is a clear divergence in how countries view this issue. While many nations are focusing on collective climate action, the U.S. is focusing on its own economic goals.
Exactly. This withdrawal raises many questions about the future of global climate initiatives. Experts are watching closely to see how other nations will react and if they can continue their efforts without U.S. support.
Thank you for that clear analysis, Jamie. It is a complex situation that affects the entire world.
You're welcome, Alex. We will continue to follow this story as it develops.